Imagine walking beside a road and discovering a dead rat lying under the hot sun for hours. Flies cover its body, maggots move through the decaying flesh, and the smell alone is enough to make most people step back. But then something surprising happens. A stray dog approaches the carcass, carefully sniffs it, takes a bite, swallows the rotten meat, and walks away as if nothing unusual has happened. A few minutes later, the same dog finds a muddy puddle beside the street. The water may contain bacteria, animal urine, parasites, and dirty runoff from the surrounding environment. Yet the dog drinks from it without immediately collapsing. Now imagine a human doing the same thing. Eating that dead rat or drinking from that polluted puddle could lead to vomiting, diarrhea, fever, severe dehydration, or even serious damage to the body. So why can some animals survive eating rotten food and drinking dirty water, while humans can become dangerously sick? The first thing we need to understand is that animals are not immune to these dangers. Rotten food can poison dogs, infect birds, and kill wild animals through bacteria, parasites, toxins, or harmful chemicals. The difference is not that animals are invincible. The difference is adaptation. Some species have evolved special abilities that help them survive dangers humans usually avoid. The perfect example is the vulture. A vulture can eat the flesh of an animal that has been dead for several days, even though that carcass may contain millions of microorganisms. One reason vultures survive is their extremely powerful digestive system. Their stomach acid is far stronger than that of many other animals, allowing them to destroy many dangerous microbes before those organisms can reach the intestines. Imagine harmful bacteria falling into a harsh chemical environment, where their protective structures begin breaking apart. Many of them are destroyed before they ever have a chance to cause infection. But stomach acid is only the first line of defense. Scavengers also have immune systems, shaped by generations of exposure to decaying flesh and dangerous microorganisms. Their gut microbes can also help by competing with harmful bacteria, making it harder for dangerous organisms to take control inside their digestive system. Behavior plays a role as well. A vulture does not blindly eat every carcass it finds. It may inspect the body, smell the meat, observe other animals, or avoid something that appears unusually dangerous. This is why vultures are not creatures that can eat anything without consequences. They are specialists that evolved for a very specific lifestyle. A dog, a cow, and a vulture are all animals, but their digestive systems are completely different. Saying all animals can eat rotten food because vultures can is like saying all animals can breathe underwater because fish can. Some animals can, most cannot. Dogs are especially confusing, because humans often see them eating things that seem disgusting. Old meat, rubbish, dead rodents, dirty bones, and water from puddles are all things dogs may sometimes consume. Then the dog appears completely normal, making people believe that the food must have been safe. But there are many hidden explanations. The food may have contained only a small number of harmful microbes. The specific pathogen may not have been able to infect that dog. The stomach acid may have destroyed most of the danger, or the dog may simply have been lucky. Humans usually see only the moment of exposure. We see the dog eating something dirty, but we do not always see what happens hours or days later. We do not see the vomiting during the night, the diarrhea the next morning, or the infection that appears after the bacteria have had time to multiply. A dog surviving one dirty puddle does not prove that the water was safe. It only proves that one particular exposure did not create an immediate visible reaction. Another important factor is the amount of danger entering the body. Scientists call this the dose. A small number of bacteria may be destroyed by natural defenses, while a much larger amount can overwhelm those same protections. Imagine two dogs eating from the same dead animal. One takes only a small bite, while the other eats a large amount of the carcass. They came from the same source, but they received completely different doses. One may remain healthy, while the other becomes seriously ill. Age and health also change the outcome. A strong adult animal may tolerate an exposure that could seriously harm a young animal, an old animal, or one with a weakened immune system. But bacteria are only one part of the danger. Rotten food can harm the body in two major ways. The first is infection. A living microorganism enters the body, survives digestion, multiplies, and damages tissues. The second is intoxication. In this case, the microorganisms have already produced harmful toxins inside the food before the food is eaten. Even if stomach acid destroys the bacteria, the toxin they created may still remain and continue causing damage. It is like catching a criminal after a bomb has already been planted. Removing the criminal does not remove the danger that was left behind. There is another danger that many people forget when talking about rotten food. Sometimes the biggest threat is not the bacteria living on the food, but the poison already inside it. Imagine returning to the dead rat beside the road. What if that rat did not die naturally? What if it had eaten pesticide or rat poison before it died? When a dog, fox, eagle or vulture eats that body, the chemical inside the animal also enters their own body. A powerful stomach cannot simply make poison disappear. The immune system cannot always neutralize chemicals that were never alive in the first place. This is why scavenging animals can still die from pesticides, heavy metals, industrial pollution, veterinary drugs, and other toxic substances found in the environment. Evolution prepares animals for dangers that appear naturally in their world. But evolution cannot perfectly protect them from every chemical created and released by humans. Now comes the surprising part. Humans actually have a very strong stomach as well. Our stomach acid can destroy many microorganisms before they reach the intestines, which means humans are not completely defenseless against contaminated food. So why does rotten food still make us sick? Because stomach acid is not a perfect shield. Some bacteria can survive. Some parasites remain protected inside animal tissues. Some microorganisms create resistant spores, and some toxins can continue causing damage even after the original bacteria are gone. A strong stomach helps us survive, but it cannot protect us from every biological and chemical threat. The reason humans did not evolve the same digestive system as a vulture is because we developed another solution. Instead of relying only on our bodies, humans learned to move much of our protection outside ourselves. We discovered fire and learnt to cook meat. We boiled water, preserved food, created refrigerators, and developed systems to separate human waste from drinking supplies. Over thousands of years, humans built food inspections, pasteurization, hygiene practices, medicine, and modern sanitation. A vulture depends heavily on biological adaptations inside its body. A modern human depends on biology combined with technology. In a way, our cooking stove has become part of our digestive system. Our refrigerator has become part of our food protection. Our clean water systems protect us before dangerous organisms ever reach our stomach. This does not mean humans are weaker than other animals. It means we solved the same survival problem in a completely different way. A vulture survives through powerful digestion. A human survives through fire, refrigeration, medicine, and sanitation. There is also another dangerous misunderstanding about rotten food. Many people believe that if food smells bad, it must be dangerous, and if food smells normal, it must be safe. But smell only tells us that something has changed. It cannot tell us which microorganisms are present, how much toxin exists, or whether dangerous chemicals are hidden inside. Some food can smell terrible because harmless spoilage organisms are growing on it, while other food can look completely normal and still contain dangerous pathogens. Your nose is useful, but your nose is not a laboratory. Dirty water creates the same illusion. People see a deer drinking from a pond, a bird drinking from muddy water, or a dog drinking from a roadside puddle, and they assume the water must be harmless because the animal survived. But wild animals also suffer from parasites, bacterial infections, and waterborne diseases. The difference is that humans usually do not see what happens afterward. A sick wild animal may hide when it becomes weak. It may separate from the group. It may be eaten by another predator, or it may die somewhere far away from human observation. This creates something called survival bias. We remember the dog that ate rubbish and continued walking. We do not see the dog that became sick later that night. We see the vulture eating a dead animal. We do not see every scavenger that died because the carcass contained poison or dangerous contamination. We mostly notice the survivors, and then we assume survival is guaranteed. But nature is not necessarily safer than human civilization. Nature is simply less observed. There is also a harsh truth about evolution. The animals alive today are descendants of animals that survived long enough to reproduce and pass their traits to future generations. Scavengers with stronger digestive defenses had an advantage. Animals that could better detect danger had an advantage. Those that could not tolerate their environment were less likely to continue their genetic line. However, evolution does not require every individual animal to survive. A species can continue existing even while many individuals die from infections, parasites, poisoning, or environmental dangers. Humans created sanitation because we chose not to accept those deaths as a normal part of everyday life. Now return one more time to that dead rat beside the road. If a human ate it, the danger could come from many different sources. It could be bacteria from the animal's intestines, parasites hidden inside its tissues, toxins produced during decay, a disease that killed the rat, or poison already present inside its body. The maggots moving through the flesh may look like the most frightening part, but they may not actually be the greatest danger. Now imagine a vulture eating the same rat. Its powerful stomach acid may destroy many harmful microorganisms. Its immune system may provide additional protection. Its gut microbes may help control dangerous bacteria. Its entire body has been shaped by millions of years of evolution for this exact situation. But even a vulture has limits. If that rat contains enough poison or a dangerous enough chemical, the vulture can still become sick or die. And that is the most important lesson. Animals do not survive dirty food because dirty food is safe. They survive because every species faces different risks, and every species has developed different ways to deal with those risks. The outcome depends on the animal, the amount consumed, the type of pathogen, the strength of the toxin, and the condition of the individual. A dog drinking polluted water does not prove the water is clean. A vulture eating rotten flesh does not prove the carcass is harmless. They are simply showing us that life has created many different solutions for surviving in a dangerous world. Some animals evolved stronger digestive systems. Some developed immune responses shaped by constant exposure. Some rely on protective microorganisms living inside their bodies. Humans chose another path. We built fire. We built refrigeration. We built medicine. We built sanitation. So why can some animals eat rotten food, while humans often cannot? Because those animals are not simply stronger than us. They are specialized. Their bodies evolved for dangers that humans usually avoid. And humans are not necessarily weaker. We simply moved much of our protection from inside the stomach into the world around us. A vulture survives with acid. A human survives with a stove. A dog may survive one filthy puddle. A city survives by building clean water systems. So here is the final question. If humans lost clean water tomorrow, if refrigeration disappeared, if cooking disappeared, and sanitation disappeared, how long would our stomachs really be able to protect us?